Hey everyone, this is Ben with RegisteredNurseRN.com, and in this video I'm going to talk about student nurse technicians, and I'm going to give you the job duties, the education requirements, the likes and the dislikes, and then some detailed salary statistics so you can know how much money these individuals make on average. So let's get started. First of all, I would just point out that not every healthcare facility has a position for student nurse technicians. A lot of them just won't offer the position, but they will have things that are basically the same thing, such as nursing assistants, nurses aides, nurse intern or extern, and things like that. They all basically do the same thing. There are some slight differences, which I'll talk about. But some of the job duties for student nurse technicians include assisting with vital signs, helping patients to the bathroom, changing linens, helping with grooming and hygiene and things like that. They will arrange and deliver meals, stock supplies, transport patients, assist with documentation, and sometimes even do advanced things like assist with Foley changes or dressing changes. And usually you will work directly under a nurse and they will precept you and help train you and just basically mentor you through the process. And so that's a little bit about the job duties. Now, I will point out that a lot of healthcare facilities that do offer the student nurse tech position will actually break it down into different categories. So they may have, for example, a student nurse technician level 1 and then a level 2 and a level 3. And the difference between the levels will often correspond to your actual advancement through the nursing program. So if you're just about to go into the program or maybe your first semester, you may be a student nurse technician level 1, and then after your first year you may move up to a student nurse technician level 2 and then a level 3 once you're closer to graduation. And each time you're able to move up, you may get a bump in pay or have additional job responsibilities, and you may be able to do more tasks. So every place does it differently. It's kind of confusing a little bit, but again, some won't even have a position called student nurse technician. Instead, they'll only have something called nursing assistants or CNA or nurse's aide or nurse intern or extern program. Now, what do you have to do if you want to go into this? What are the education requirements? Well, generally speaking, most healthcare facilities are going to want you to have a high school diploma and be 18 years old. That's the major requirement for most areas. Now, if a healthcare facility does actually have a position called student nurse technician, most of them do want you to be currently enrolled in some nursing school. Some may have requirements, such as I've seen one that had a GPA requirement that you had to maintain a 3.0 in order to be a student nurse technician. Also, you may have to complete a certain number of courses before you're able to apply. So every healthcare facility is different. What I would recommend is to get online and check some hospitals or other healthcare facilities in your area, see if they offer a student nurse technician position. If not, you may want to search for like nursing assistant, nursing aide, things like that. And they will generally tell you what the requirements are. And finally, some places do want you to have certification if you're going to work as a nursing assistant. And generally that takes 4 to 12 weeks if they require that. Now let's talk about some of the likes and the dislikes. One thing that individuals like about working as a student nurse is it is fantastic experience. You get to work alongside a nurse preceptor. They will show you what it's like to work as a nurse, and you will learn a lot of information about the healthcare industry while you're working. And nursing students feel so much more comfortable after graduation because they feel like they know what it takes to actually work as a nurse, and they have that experience under their belt. Another thing is that they love working with patients. That's another thing a lot of these student nurse technicians will say. They also like the flexible schedules because a lot of times when you work for a hospital or healthcare facility and they know that you're a nursing student, they will often be willing to work with you. You may be able to just do these programs actually through the summer or through the winter break, and they will have it just set up like that where you actually go through and you're precepted and you work and you're paid money. Sometimes they won't offer you benefits or something like that, but they will do it that way sometimes. Another thing is that it's great for advancement because when you get your foot in the door, a lot of times these people want to hire you. So if you can get your foot in the door and work as a nursing assistant, nursing aide, or student nurse technician, the hospital is going to be much more likely to hire you on as a nurse, so long as you prove yourself worthy. And then finally, sometimes you can even get tuition assistance, and that's another perk. And not every healthcare facility offers that, but some do. So if you're struggling with finances and things like that, you may want to consider that. Now, some of the dislikes is that the pay is generally low, and I'll talk about those salary numbers here in a minute, but you're not going to make a whole lot of money doing this position because it's really entry level. You don't have to have a lot of education and so forth, so you're not going to make a lot of money. Another thing is that every once in a while some preceptors will be rude, but it just depends because a lot of them are really nice to the nursing students. And then finally, they generally don't like to have to clean up patients or clean up linens that have been, someone's used the bathroom in the linens and things like that. That can be sort of the downside of the job, but every job has its pros and cons, right? Now, let's talk about some of these salary statistics to give you an idea of how much you'll make. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which is the government agency that tracks and collects jobs data, as of 2014, the average hourly wage $12.62 per hour. $26,250 was the average salary. Now, those are just averages, and I can tell you that a lot of times when you go and you work as a nursing assistant or a nursing student technician, you're only going to make, if you live in like a rural area, you're only going to make probably like maybe $1 or $2 above minimum wage. Now, if you work in a more densely populated area, you may make a little more than that. But that's pretty close to what you're going to get on average. Now, the industries with the highest level of employment are going to be nursing care facilities. $25,160 was the average salary there. General medical and surgical hospitals, number 2, $28,430 was the average salary there. And then retirement homes or assisted living facilities, $24,500 was the average there. Now, you have to keep in mind with that salary that since you're nursing school, probably not going to be working full time, so you probably won't make that much, but it just gives you an idea. Now, the top paying industries was the federal government at $36,380. Lessors of real estate came in at number 2, $31,670. And then insurance carriers, number 3, $31,470. The top paying state was Alaska, $37,180. Nevada came in at number 2, $33,000. And then New York, number 3, $32,470. The lowest paying state was Louisiana, $20,060 is all you make there. Mississippi came in at $20,600, and then Arkansas, $21,400. So that's a little bit about student nurse technicians. I will put a link in this video in the description, or it may pop up here, where you can go to our website and look at an article if you want to see the average salaries for all 50 states. And of course, we do have a playlist with a lot of other healthcare salaries, where I cover things like surgical techs, sterile processing techs, x-ray technicians, nursing, a lot of different areas. So if you want to check out some of those videos and learn about their salary and job overview, make sure to check that out. Thank you so much for watching, and please consider subscribing.